Hey everyone, how's it going today? Welcome back to another second stimulus check and second stimulus package, unemployment benefits extension update, and hope everyone hopefully had a relatively warm, safe weekend and is staying strong out there. I know this weekend was actually pretty warm actually weather-wise in New York City, so it was a really beautiful, gorgeous day to go out. But in today's update, I basically want to give you guys a little bit of a heads up now, updating about what happened in regards to stimulus checks over the weekend, what is going to be happening over the next couple of days, including something that's actually very likely going to be happening tonight. But I do try to make these videos relevant even if you're watching into the next couple of days into the future, so you guys can kind of prepare for what's to come, or if you guys are watching in the future, you guys can also catch up on what has already happened and about what's currently going on. We do have updates also about the $908 billion stimulus that we've been talking about for the last couple of days, what's going to be going on there. We have brief news about this $2,000 stimulus thing that's kind of going on. We'll briefly touch a little bit about that, but that's what we're going to cover in today's update. So we're going to start right away, but before we begin, make sure you smash the like button. Feel free to comment any questions, thoughts about really anything at all, especially at the very end of this video, maybe about what you currently think is going to be happening, which package you guys particularly support, or what you think is going to be the one that's most likely to approve, or that you think is going to happen by the very end of this. And also consider subscribing and hitting the bell notification button for future updates, especially over the next couple of days, so you guys can get updated as soon as possible about all of the different news and things that are going to be happening around stimulus checks, especially because so many of these things are very time sensitive right now. For example, what's going to be going on tonight actually in the world of stimulus checks. Alright, so with that being said, let's get this video started. So over the last couple of days, they did actually continue their talks about the $908 billion stimulus package. They did make a lot of tweaks. I think in the video before last video, it's the one that has Mitt Romney on the thumbnail. I think it's called Changes Made. I talk a lot about the new changes that are going to be happening in regards to the 908. Well, we have also received word now that today actually they're going to be releasing an even more updated version of that particular stimulus package now, but in even greater detail. But there is actually also something new that recently came out, which is basically that they've actually made the decision that they are actually now going to take that $908 billion stimulus package and actually break it up into two stimulus packages now. One that's currently going to be priced at $748 billion and another one that's going to be priced at $160 billion. I believe the $748 billion package is going to be for unemployment, SBA, so small businesses, PPP loans, anything around if you're a business owner, and then also about pandemic relief and anything revolving around the research, the vaccine research, pandemic relief, contact tracing. And then they're going to be breaking that up into a second stimulus package now, or proposal now, that's going to be priced at $160 billion. That's supposed to be for liability protection and state and local aid. And I think in a lot of ways this actually is pretty smart actually, because I think right now the story is that because there's a lot of conflicts that have been going on about what to include, I think that by breaking it up into different parts, it maybe will hopefully actually increase the chances of it passing and approving. Also, because since now that it will be smaller, maybe they can try to slowly start to pass and approve it little by little, so in sections by sections, which would hopefully become easier than trying to just pass and approve the entire thing all at once, with the approval that everyone's on board. Because I do know that Pelosi was, she originally in the very beginning was very much trying to vouch for some kind of giant package. I think she has come to terms to compromise a little bit, but with that assumption, this is probably what's going to likely be happening. Now, I believe the only real details that we really know about this bill right now is that there definitely, almost definitely will be the $300 unemployment extension. So that is the really great news. I think the retroactive side is still not totally clear yet. They were still kind of debating on it, but we probably will know by the end of this, by the end of today actually. So definitely subscribe if you haven't done so, you guys can get updated about that and all the stuff that kind of goes on around the unemployment situation. There are no stimulus checks on this. However, there is a lot of thought right now, because at this current time, I believe there's In total, I believe there's about 5 stimulus proposals right now that are on the table, but one of the proposals is kind of like a split. The one that we're going to find out information from tonight is kind of like now going to become like a split proposal. So if you count this as 2 proposals, technically 6 proposals. But one of the 6 proposals is the Hawley proposal that we kind of talked about. That one has stimulus checks inside. I think basically of all of the 5 big packages now, you have the HEROES Act. That's probably going to be something that's supposed to go on in January that they maybe will bring up. It really depends on the Senate elections, but it's kind of like pushed on the side right now. Mitch McConnell has a really small package that he kind of has. It's the skinny bill that most of you guys probably know. I don't think it's really going to go that far. I think he just wanted to put that package out there for like aesthetics. It's the skinny bill that we kind of talked about. And then you basically have 3 other proposals, basically the 916 White House proposal. You have the 908 proposal, which is the one today that's now going to be split into 2 proposals. One with unemployment, one with liability and state and local aid. So hopefully we're going to get a lot more details about that. There's also a business program and then a lot of different funding for different programs, and then the standalone stimulus check. I think that the ideal goal that they're trying to shoot for right now is if they're able to pass and approve the bipartisan that has both parts of the bipartisan, so basically the unemployment SBA businesses side of it, and then the liability protection in the state and local aid part of it, and then maybe also do the stimulus checks, there's a very reasonable chance to think that we may actually end up getting all of them, including the stimulus checks and the unemployment. But I believe that right now we're going to be getting a lot of details that are going to be coming up ahead, so that's definitely what's the big thing to really stay tuned on, especially over the next couple of days. There's actually literally news I think that's coming out almost every hour right now, but definitely at least the bright news is that there's lots of progress that's basically going to be happening. So that's the really bright side to it. Now finally, I think the big thing I also really want to quickly just touch up on is that there were actually a couple articles over the weekend that came up about like a $2,000 stimulus check. I kind of just wanted to address that, but basically what really ended up happening is that Donald Trump recently did go onto the news, and I think that they asked him a lot about what his personal thoughts are about the stimulus checks. I think the story is that he kind of spoke on the news about how he wanted an even larger stimulus check and package, not that different than what he was basically talking about before the elections. And I think that within that, he mentioned something about how if he could, he would even love to implement and do a $2,000 stimulus check. Now, whether this was just talk or for publicity or genuinely like wanting to actually do it, that's probably up to you guys or us to basically decide. Feel free to comment your thoughts about that. But I do know that Trump did bring up the talk about wanting to do $2,000 stimulus checks. I think probably part of the reason why is because there were a lot of talks that he is trying to possibly try to run for the election again in 2024. So there were some kind of talks that maybe if he tried to do the stimulus checks by then, it would maybe allow him to kind of leave the White House on a much more positive note so that it can maybe look better for him when or if he ends up running for president again in 2024. So that's what I really just wanted to address, but that's really what I wanted to cover in today's update as well. So hopefully you guys found some insight or have a brief idea about what to expect in this very big week. We will be getting a lot of updates, so definitely subscribe and hit the bell notification button for more if you haven't done so already. And feel free to comment any questions, thoughts about really anything at all, what you think is going to happen, which package you support, or even just which set of packages that you support, since now that there's several parts within the different packages. And also remember to smash the like button if you haven't done so already, because it does help to support this channel. So with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. Stay safe, stay well, happy holidays, and stay tuned for hopefully more. Thank you guys so much for watching.